Good morning. Thank you for being here today. And I'm on my way to work, so it's maybe it's a little noisy. So you might want to skip this episode if the background noise bothers you. But yeah, I didn't have time to do an episode today, so I just do one in the car while I'm heading to work. And today I'm exactly where I was most afraid of being or living, the day that I was so afraid of coming to reality, and here I am, living it. And it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Much less than what I imagined, or all of the scenarios and the things I came up in my head. And it was like 3-4 days ago I knew this day would come and I'm gonna have to face the consequences. Not anything terrible. It just bad investment decisions. And so it's like during that day, 4 or 5 days ago, I imagined these scenarios, and it's like I already lived it. I already put myself in the future that day and living those experiences. And it's just like I've been here before. I mean, I've been here before, but what I'm trying to say is that all the things that we imagine, all the scenarios that we came up in our head, when it actually happened, when the reality actually happened, even if it matched up with what we imagined, they still not as scary as we thought they would. And I believe that these hard times are meant to be. And it was like sorry for the difficulty. It's the mic went off. Well, the wire got unplugged and it stopped the recording. So I missed most of it. But basically what I'm saying is that all of the things that we're going through, they're shaping us to the person we were meant to be. Especially the one that break us down into pieces, and it just feel like, how am I supposed to go from here? Where am I supposed to go? It's like I don't have something to look forward to anymore. And starting from scratch is hard, because I've been here before, and I know how long it takes, how hard it is to overcome these things. It's tough. But what I do also realize is that sometimes, well, most of the time you don't really starting over all over, but you're starting over with some experience, with some lesson that you learn from the things that happened before. And sitting here right now, what else can I do? I mean, I just gotta go to work because that's just what needs to be done, and the bills need to be paid. But what I'm trying to say is, it's just hard to find the will to go home and not falling back into the bad habits again. It's like drinking alcohols, or binge watch Netflix shows, or on social media just doing whatever to waste time, and just leaning that comfort, just to not feel any of the discomfort from facing your own demon. It's like one of the hardest part that I found is to be alone, to be doing nothing and just facing your own thoughts, your problems, the things that went wrong, and the thing you wish you could change. And sometimes you just don't know. You just don't know if any of this is ever gonna work out, because all you see is all of the bad things down the road, all of the things that could go wrongs, and you're just not seeing any good ahead of you. And I think that's just rough. It's rough when you fall back down to your knees, and you're trying to get back up, but you don't know where to go from there. Yeah, I can get back up, but I just don't know where to head to, where to move towards from here. But what else can we do? We always have choices to make, and it's either putting your one foot right in front of the other and walk and find a way, just move forward. Or we can choose to not walk at all, just standing still and just lay back and watch Netflix and leaning that comfort again, and just not feel pains anymore. Let me drink that bottle of wine so I can escape. Sit on the couch and watch Netflix so I can no longer have to think about my problems, or social media, or just TikTok, or whatever it is that we're trying to do to run away from our problems. Just like the dishes, but it's like once you get through it, once you clean up the house, wash the dishes, do the laundries, you get all these things out of your mind, out of your head. It's like you cleaning part of the problem in your head, that the thing that you said that you need to do, you need to get done, and you get them out of the way, and you don't have to waste your brain energy cells trying to think. And I think what makes us feel so overwhelming is just because we have so much to do, and we just like to put them aside, and I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later. It was never now, I'll do it now, but later, I'll do it later. It's always kicking the can down the road, waiting for the perfect moment. But most of the time it never comes, and the dishes piles up, the laundry piles up, the problem get bigger, and all of the problems, they just get bigger if we don't take care of them, and it just get worse and worse and worse over time. And what's hard is to face those challenges, those problems, whether it's small or big. You just have to find a way to tackle them. And just prove to yourself that you are not the same old me, you anymore. You're not all the times you fucked up. And realize that we all have one life. And do we want to waste our times on doing something that would not serve us in the long run? It's all come down to choices. It's like whether you want to be your life to be easy now and hard later, or you want your life now to be easy later but hard now. Which one would you rather choose? And it's all come down to you. Whether you want to live life in comfort now and have to suffer later on in life, or squeeze in the time that you have now, leaning into the discomfort and enjoys the life you have later on. Because now we're young, even now when we're old, still we're gonna be younger than the person we will down the road. That's one thing for sure. It's like down the road we're gonna get older, and it's gonna be harder to face challenges, to work hard, to grind. But now is the time, and it's all come down to us. We are the one who get to make the choices, the decisions. And yes, it's hard right now. It's fucking suck dick right now, because nothing seems to go right, and the world is collapsing down on you. And how the hell am I gonna supposed to grind and push when all I could see is just terrible things, setbacks, and things that not going the way I wanted. 10 feet, 20 feet, 1 mile, 2 miles down the road. How am I supposed to keep on going if all I could see are mistakes and failures, the things that went wrong and the bad choices that I made? And all I do is to blame myself for all of those things, but I've never really give myself credit for keep on showing up even when it suck. Still here, trying, while everybody else, just living their best life, and I'm just grinding my lives away. And I'm just still broke. I'm still have nothing to show for. The other day I went on to the podcast on Pandora, and it's been 247 episodes posted, I think, on there. And I have 16 views, I think. 16 or 17 views. So it's like out of over 200 episodes, and some episodes only have 1 views, and most of them has 0 views. 17 views, all of it, so probably 90% of the episode has 0 views. And what crazy is that I have 1 like button and six dislike button, and it was so discouraging, to look at. It's like, am I really good enough to post in these episodes? It's like I was ashamed of myself looking at those 6 dislike buttons and 1 like buttons. It was a little rough, And then I went on Apple podcasts, music's the same. It's like 25, 26 views out of 200 something episodes. Like, what the fuck? It's like people didn't even give it a chance. And when Amazon Music, the same things. No, Amazon Music was worse. It was like I have like 8, 9 views out of 200 something. It was nuts. I took a screenshot of it. But it's okay, you know. This podcast is not for everyone. And it was intended for the people like me, you know, or people that going through stuff like me. Maybe they can find it related. Who knows? But I felt, you know, very insecure at the time yesterday, but it's alright now, you know. I don't care. I'm gonna post anyway, and I'm gonna keep on doing this because I like it, and who cares? And I think that's what makes it so hard, you know. Like, keep on trying, keep on showing up, even when there's no result, there's nothing to show for, and you're just not getting anywhere, and all you could see is just the things that collapse, and it's hard, you know. But I think that's what make it worth it. That's what make it worth the try. Because maybe one day I'll have a story to tell. A story where, even though I didn't get the things I wanted, but I gave it all I got. I tried the best I could. I gave it everything I had. And I have nothing to regret. No regret. Yes, the rejection was hurt. It was painful, you know. Hoping for something different would come, but it was bad. But I had no regret, and I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I went all in and I found out. I'm glad that I asked and I found out. I'm glad that I made those choices and I got the results, even though it was bad, but I'm glad that I did it. And I have no regrets. And maybe that's a life that I need to strive for. A life with no regrets. Well, that's not, you know, a little amount of regrets as possible. That's what I'm striving for. Not no regret. Thank you for listening, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and your loved ones.